In this video, I'm going to discuss what is entrepreneurship through acquisition. Hi, my name is Kevin Henderson, and I'm a corporate mergers and acquisitions attorney based in Dallas, Texas, and this is my YouTube series, ETA Today, where I discuss topics ranging from mergers and acquisitions, buying and selling businesses, to entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship through acquisition. If you like topics like these, please hit the subscribe button, follow along. But for now, let's get into today's topic. What is entrepreneurship through acquisition? Now, I'm going to assume that most of you have heard of entrepreneurship, right? At its most fundamental level, entrepreneurship is defined as setting up a business or businesses where the owner takes a financial risk in expectation of profit. Now, the most common type of entrepreneur, right, is a startup entrepreneur. Most people think startups when they think of starting a business. But startups come with some drawbacks, right? The first and most important being startup costs. Imagine procuring products, leasing and building out office space or warehouse or store space, hiring people, buying insurance, setting up benefits for employees, etc. All of these incredible expenses before you even open your doors to customers. That can be hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially even millions, and you haven't made a single sale yet. Interestingly, recent studies have shown approximately 1 in 5 businesses don't survive the first year. 5 years out, it's half. Think about that. Half of all startups are going to fail in the first 5 years. And the number one reason? Cash flow. Again, think about those startup costs and how many expenses get front-loaded on a startup before you ever start to have revenue. That hurts cash flow. So enter entrepreneurship through acquisition. So starting a small business isn't the only way to be an entrepreneur. What if instead of starting a brand new business, you buy an existing business? It's still a business that you own. You're still making a financial risk in expectation of profit. You are classically an entrepreneur. But think about what that solves. If you buy an existing business, you buy a business that has 10, 15, 30, potentially more years of historical operations. The business is probably already profitable, or I'm going to guess you're not looking at buying it. That addresses your cash flow problem. It's got proven product market fit. It's got existing customers. In other words, the day you close the acquisition of your business, or the day you incur your first penny of expense or debt to fund the acquisition of your business, means that you're earning revenue on the same day, as opposed to the startup where you start incurring costs potentially a year before you ever see 1 penny of revenue. So let's just do a really quick example to drive the point home. You've got 2 friends. In both cases, they're going to invest $1 million into being an entrepreneur. With a classic startup, friend 1 spends $1 million leasing a new store. Let's call it a store. He has to hire architects, designers. He's got to buy furniture. He has to pay the construction crew for the build out. He then has to start buying the supplies and equipment. He has to pay for branding. He has to pay for product testing to see what may or may not resonate in the market. He has to pay money to start hiring people. He spends most of that $1 million over 6 months, maybe a year, before doors open to the public in that business. And assuming that that friend has borrowed that $1 million, he's also probably paying interest over that same period without earning a dime. Now that friend opens the doors. He finally gets to the public launch of his business. And what does he have to do? Focus on customer acquisition. Everything becomes customer acquisition. That entrepreneur has to learn how to drive new customers through a new door to make a new product or service offering choice. And that takes time. In those classic startups, you're maybe at year 2, possibly later than that, before you're ever turning a profit. And remember, the number one reason that startup businesses fail in the first year or first 5 years, cash flow. Now, let's take friend 2. Friend 2 decides to take that $1 million, but instead of do a startup, she decides she's going to buy an existing business. Most businesses are bought on a multiple of profit. Not really profit, but I'm keeping it simple for the sake of the video. The multiple is usually a range, but a good median in the small business space is a 4x multiple. Let's use that to keep it really simple. I hate doing math. You probably hate doing math. Let's keep this very simple. For a $1 million purchase price, that means that this friend can afford to buy a business with $250,000 of profit. $250,000 of profit, a 4x multiple, 250 times 4, $1 million. Now, this friend can go take an SBA loan to fund that purchase, and the SBA is going to allow financing of up to 90%. So it's a $900,000 loan and a $100,000 down payment. I already did the math, so you don't have to do it. That $900,000 loan on an SBA loan means $11,000 a month payment for 10 years. So the day that friend two closes on the purchase of her business, she immediately owns a business with $250,000 of annual profit. She's got a loan with $11,000 a month or $132,000 per year, $250,000 in profit minus $132,000 in debt service. That's $120,000 of profit left over for friend two beginning in that first year. Remember, first year of friend number one, the startup, he hasn't even opened his doors yet. He hasn't earned a cent. And all of that assumes that friend two makes no changes in the business. Imagine if she bought a business with 10 years of operating history, though. On day one, she jumps in, starts looking at the historical financials, the sales data, the customer data, and she starts to identify areas where she can optimize. She can cut some costs. She can go upsell certain customers. So in year one, while friend one is frantically worrying about getting doors open to make his first dollar in profit, friend two is already sitting on $120,000 of profit, but she's starting to implement some changes in the business to increase profitability. Maybe she increases profitability by, 10% that first year. $250,000 of profit, 10%. That's an extra $25,000 she just earned for herself by implementing some basic changes because she bought a business with operating history that she could immediately comb through to identify ways to optimize and improve her business. Now, don't take me wrong. Entrepreneurship with acquisition isn't as, colorful and easy as I'm making it out to sound, right? It comes with a lot of risks. It can be a long and hard process. There's complicated legal and financial concerns. And once you close, there's not risks, right? As a new buyer, if you come in on day one and immediately start making changes, that may be hard on your employees and you're going to have employee retention issues. You can't just come in on day one like a bull in a china shop expecting to completely turn around a culture of a business that's been around for 10 years. So again, don't take this the wrong way. ETA is tough. Making that $250,000 of profit or increasing that profit in year one is a long and hard road, but compare it to the long and hard road of entrepreneurship one in the startup, right? Entrepreneurship through acquisition provides a lot of potential benefits to an entrepreneur just by buying an existing business with a good framework, defined product market fit, an operating history that you can rely on to know that you can continue to make sales just as the company's done for the past 10, 15, 30 years, whatever it is. It's not a guaranteed path to profitability, but it provides opportunity like very few other investment opportunities out there. The SBA's current default rate is 2%. Compare that with the failure rate for your startups of 20% in year one. I don't know about you, but I'll take a 2% chance at failure over a 20% chance at failure any day. Thanks for watching. If you like videos like this, please hit the subscribe button and follow along. Of course, if you have a topic or anything you want to hear me discuss in a future video, drop me a comment below.